Soulful shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, just some soulful shit for everyone, you know what I'm saying? Like, I made this be myself, so hear me. I mean, like, we can put all that clown shit away. This some real shit for you. I'm spazzing right now, so listen, let's go. Yeah, it's in their bones, the thoughts and harmony for the love of the money. Then fall victim for the cookie, then turn pussy, it's lonely. You said you hold it down when life get rough, we're here now, so show me. We move them losses to them wins. Heavy pounds, we make it ends meet. Converse with only few who make me feel like I be 10 feet.
Yes, what's going on, Pete's, man? We are back in the damn building, and we're here after a defeat. We're here with another match reaction, guys. Smash a like, share, and subscribe to the damn channel, man. Liverpool have been knocked out of Europe. Knocked out of Europe by PSG, losing 1-0 on the night, thanks to a Dembele goal, and ultimately losing on penalties. Yeah, I mean, before we take a look at, a couple of little bits and bobs, I think overall PSG definitely deserved, in my opinion, to go through. Maybe on the night, it was obviously... it was a bit more even, I would say. I think, yeah, I feel like the game was even, to be honest with you. PSG had chances, Liverpool had chances, of course, to score goals. PSG with a better team in extra time. Liverpool probably, yeah, the better team in full time. So, yeah, I would say even in this game. But, I think when PSG even got their goal, to be honest with you, from Dembele, and it was so funny because it was such a scrappy goal to give away. Ball into the box. Kanate doesn't really deal with it properly, and then Dembele obviously coming in and just tapping it at home. Basically on the line. It was like, yeah, you slightly deserve that. If I'm being honest, when I saw that and I looked at it, I said, yeah, you deserved a goal. For all your efforts that you put in that first leg, you deserved the goal in this leg. Whether it meant Liverpool going to win or lose, you at least deserve that much. Just looking at it from a from a neutral standpoint, to be honest with you. But Liverpool did try, and in that second half, they were hounding PSG, in terms of just really dominating in terms of possession and dominating the ball, dominating both boxes. To be honest with you, PSG were very, very quiet in that second half. Definitely admit that. I think they had maybe one or two shots from I can remember off the top of my head in that second half. I know Kvaratskhelia just over the bar and stuff like that, but they were always a threat. That was one thing I kind of realized, in terms of PSG themselves, is that they were always a threat, man. This team is so problematic. But listen, we'll get into it anyway. Obviously, this was the PSG lineup for the game. The same lineup really from both teams, to be honest with you. Liverpool went the same, PSG went the same as well. I think from a PSG standpoint, and again, this is something I would definitely wanted to speak about, was that, listen, obviously the game's done now, and PSG have obviously gotten themselves through. So all of that chat that they had before the game, it was very warranted. And I said, big up Ends, because we did the preview on his channel, and I said, if I was PSG, and I think even, Clarence Seedorf also said and Wayne Rooney, they were talking about this as well. After that first leg, and everyone was saying, oh, it's going to be a different game, Liverpool. And it was a bit of a different game, but you could see PSG was still, they still had that quality. Kvaratskhelia, Dembele, Barcola, Jon Neves, Vitinha. We'll talk about those guys in a minute, but Mendes absolutely phenomenal. In both legs. Really locked up Salah. But when I looked at it, I said, the way that Liverpool play, right? Even just this season, we're just talking about this season. Liverpool always going to be, vulnerable to that, transition, in terms of when we come up against certain teams. Now, in the Premier League, not many teams, if any, to be honest with you. In fact, I don't think there's any team who possess that kind of front three and with that midfield. And in fact, with this team, I don't think there's any team in the Premier League that I look at and think, freaking hell, look at that front three. And you still got Doué on the bench. Look at that midfield too. Adding in Fabian Ruiz, and you still got Zaire Emery on the bench. Crazy. But probably the best left back in world football, or top left back in world football, one of the top right backs. Not many. Pacho, who I thought was excellent as well. Not many. Again, like I said, there's no one in the Premier League. So when Liverpool come up against those kind of teams who, don't mind at times having to soak up that pressure, and then will hit you on the counter, and we're playing with a false nine and in Dembele and all this kind of stuff. When you come up against those kind of teams in the Premier League, and when I'm talking those type of teams, not in terms of player personnel, just teams you might try and mix it up in that kind of way. Yeah, Liverpool, again, they'll usually come out those games, probably win those games, because the reality is you're not coming up against Kvaratskhelia, Dembele, Vitinha, Joao Neves, and all these kind of players. You're coming up against, no disrespect, but players in the Premier League are not even on this kind of level. This is a different kind of level, and they've obviously shown that over the two legs. So Liverpool, in my opinion, have been getting away with quite a lot this season in certain games, not every game, but in certain games when you come up against similar type teams. So when you come up against PSG, hey man, listen, Liverpool are, they've been a consistent team this season, but listen, you come up against ball players, technical players, players who are quick, the decisive at the right moments. And I'm not even talking about scoring goals. I'm just talking about just general play. Problematic. And Liverpool found it problematic, over these two legs. They really did find it really, especially that first leg. That was an embarrassment to Liverpool in general. Probably the worst game I have ever seen from Liverpool this season. But yeah, the second game, obviously this leg, they kind of redeemed themselves in terms of the quality that we obviously tried to show. But yeah, you're coming up against this PSG team. Oh my days, absolutely crazy. In regards to Liverpool's team, a lot of people, were wanted to see a few different players. I know I wanted to see Curtis Jones. If I'm being totally honest, with you, I felt that he did come on obviously later on. Wasn't really actually that good, to be fair. In my opinion, didn't really do what I needed him to do. But that was the change that I had. We'll go through the players, individually later on. But yeah, I think that was it. And obviously everyone wanted Nunes to start, but again, even when he came on, didn't really offer me anything, to be honest with you. So again, not really, too fussed in that regards. And look, you can see by the stats and stuff here. They had more possession by the end of the game. 2.5, again, more expected goals, more big chances, more shots. Listen, man, like PSG, that is what I call a masterclass over two legs. That is how you navigate a two-legged tie against one of the best teams in Europe in terms of this season, which Liverpool are one of the best teams in Europe, 100%. I can't say any less to that. And that's how you navigate a two-legged tie. It really is. And, when you look at things like this, this is what we saw over the two legs. And this is why I say PSG at least deserved one goal, at least a goal. Liverpool had 4 shots on target in 2 legs. PSG had 18. Come on, guys, man. Like, we're Liverpool fans, but sometimes you just have to say, you know what? You guys were the guys. Do you know what I mean? Like, you guys actually deserve to just win, to be honest with you. Liverpool didn't deserve it. Yes, it went all the way to penalties, and penalties is a game of luck at the end of the day, but we didn't deserve it, guys. Come on, man. Like, I don't really want to be hearing or seeing in the comments, oh, yeah, but no, come on, man. Like, if we can't be honest, yeah, then there's no point in having these discussions. There really isn't. If we can't be honest with each other, like, Liverpool did not deserve to go through. So the reality is, I'm not that mad. I'm not looking at, oh my goodness, like that was such an injustice. No, we deserve to get knocked out. You know what I mean? If you don't perform in the Champions League, if you put in these, people say, oh, the performances doesn't matter. They do kind of matter. Do you know what I mean? Clearly they do. Do you know what I mean? So, it is what it is. And listen, man, Dembele getting the goal. Obviously, if you've watched my tactical show that I did, obviously over on Big Up, we speak about, Ousmane Dembele. Listen, first half, I thought he was really, really good. The way he was dropping into pockets, he was causing Liverpool so much problems. It was ridiculous. Obviously, himself getting the goal, and Alisson, making all of these 16 saves across. They had 18 shots on target. Alisson made 16 saves. Just deep that for a sec. They had 18 shots on target in 2 legs. Alisson had to make 16 saves. Yeah, you definitely deserve to get knocked out. Not Alisson. Alisson deserves to go through. Alisson deserves to be on a winning team. Yeah, I'm trying to say he deserves to be on a winning team. 16 saves. The most by a goalkeeper in the UEFA Champions League knockout tie since Manuel Neuer for Bayern Munich v Real Madrid, which was also 16 in the quarterfinals. 16-17 season. We're talking nearly 10 years ago. 8 years ago. That's crazy to me. That's crazy. And look, as I said, these two, that is the type of midfielders I want in my team. I didn't need this game to really show it, but on the flip side, I did, because I feel like, you then understand it a little bit more when I speak about, players, the type of players that I like. Obviously, you know me, I'm a Pedri, Gavi type of player, but these type of players, you've still got the tenacity, the tough tackling from a Joao Neves, but he can play ball. He's so comfortable in the midfield. He's comfortable receiving the ball under pressure. Vitinha is just I don't know. Like I said to my peoples, like I didn't see this at Wolves. I can't lie to you. Like I didn't know he was this good. I did not see that. Like this is one of the ones where I thought he's just he's going to be one of them kind of midfielders. I didn't see this. He became just the second PSG player on record since 2003-2004 to complete 100 passes in both legs of a Champions League knockout stage after Thiago Motta did it against Chelsea. This is his game against Liverpool. Second leg, by the way. 136 touches, 103 out of 111 passes. He won possession 7 times. He won 6 out of 7 duels, 6 clearances, 5 tackles, 2 interceptions, 2 chances. When I tell you, he embarrassed our midfield. There is nothing else I can say more on. He embarrassed the Liverpool midfield. Absolutely embarrassed. You want to watch a midfield performance? That's the midfield performance you go and watch. Watch it more so in the first leg, but watch this one. Real baller settings. Him and Joao Neves. Those are honestly, that's my type of midfielders. Those are the kind of guys. That's why I don't get too gassed on these. And I'm not even trying to shit on these other guys because they've done their thing this season in the Premier League. Of course they have. But when I talk about midfielders, I'm like, these are the kind of ballers that I want to. And it's not just about because they're aesthetically pleasing, but these guys are doing the work. You just saw the stats from Vitinha. He's also doing off the ball work as well. He does that. They both do that. Interceptions, clearance, they're doing everything. But on the ball, they're just so neat and. Listen, man, I can wax lyrical about these guys all freaking day long. The last thing I'll talk about before we take a look at the players and stuff is Mo Salah. Obviously, everyone knows that's my guy. That's my guy, of course. That's my Liverpool guy. Absolutely stunk like dog doo-doo that's been left for 5 days. Nah, we'll go worse. He stunk like a dead body. That kind of stench. When the state you can't, for anyone who's ever smelled that, you can't even walk in the room. You can't even be in the same room. He stunk. He stunk like doo-doo. I'm sorry, Mo Salah, you're my guy, and I try to always, stand on your side, but you stunk. When I needed you in these 2 legs, you was nowhere to be seen. I don't care that you had the chances to score. You were nowhere to be seen. When the team needed you the most in these 2 legs, you were nowhere to be seen. Nowhere to be seen. Absolutely nowhere. And that for me is the most disappointing part because we've spoken about, people have said, oh, he's been amazing this season. He's done this, he's done that. All the goals. We talk about the stats all the time. You see when it matters. You see when these moments matter. Nowhere to be seen. This ain't Champions League semi-final, but listen, PSG are top team. Well, they've turned into this top team obviously over the course of a season. But this ain't Champions League semi-finals and that, where it's that kind of level, stakes are high. We're talking, this is the next round, the last 16 or whatever, and this is the performance that you're putting in, Mo. I agree with what the guys are saying in the group. As much as we know, yes, Mo could probably score at any moment. He probably deserved to come off. Not probably, he did deserve to come off. Stunk. It was awful, so bad. I was shocked that he even stayed on. I understood probably why he would stay on, but honestly, Mo Salah, yeah. That is definitely, for me, in terms of over a period of games, probably your 2 worst games I've ever seen. Honestly, that was bad. But listen, man, Alisson was Alisson. Do you know what I mean? He did not deserve to be on the losing side. He did everything he possibly could. Obviously, because we've got the same team, I'll just kind of run through it. Not really a rating, just kind of talk about them. Robbo, thought Robbo was okay in moments in both legs. More so in the second leg, to be honest with you, getting a little bit more joy because Liverpool having a bit more possession, so to speak. But yeah, he was okay. Van Dijk, again, I thought he was just okay. Kanate, again, okay. If we're just talking specifically this game, yeah, okay. But yeah, over the 2 legs, okay. Yeah, Trent obviously came off injured. Trent was was like poor to like poor to average. In this game, would I say? You know what? I'll say okay. I'll just say okay. I'll say okay. Gravenberch, absolutely horrible, disgusting. Like that was dead. Like I'm tired of even seeing Gravenberch. I'm sorry, but no one seems to be opening their mouths. Everyone seems to be super quiet on Gravenberch. I haven't even got a clue why. And it's not even about shitting on a player. It's just that you can't be giving players allowances, but then you want to be on everyone else's neck. To me, that don't make no sense, bro. That does not make any sense, especially for players who don't have the credit in the bank, like the Salahs and Van Dijks and Allisons and that. These men have been here for time doing their thing. Gravenberch has not been here for time doing his thing. He's only been doing it for half of a season. 2025, Gravenberch, you have stunk. You have generally stunk. McAllister, I thought he was pretty decent in this game. Very, very tenacious. He looked like he was trying to make things kind of work in the midfield, but if I'm being honest, man, that whole midfield was just non-existent at points in the game. Who else? Zabozalai, too tentative at times, man. You're trying to get forward, like you're in certain positions, you ain't passing. Forget my bro, like what are you doing, man? Luis Diaz, I thought, yeah, he was okay in this game. Salah, as we said, he was absolute arse. Jota, again, he was poor as well. Jota and Gravenberch, like on the same thing. Like I don't think they were as poor as Salah was, and that's more because Salah was getting the ball more, and it's a lot more noticeable with in terms of chances, creation, and you being like the best player, like that we've got in this forward line. But they were very, very poor, in my opinion, in this game that we had, and yeah, the subs were absolutely non-existent. So it doesn't, really doesn't matter. And when I'm looking at PSG, Donnarumma had a good game, and definitely had a better game. Well, I say that, but I mean, in the other game, he only had that one save that he fucked up, to be fair. But yeah, he's still a bit, I don't know, a bit weird like of a player, but fairs. Mendes, I thought Mendes was excellent over these two legs. Really, really good. Really locked up Salah. He's one of the main reasons why Salah didn't get no joy. Hakimi, I thought over the two legs, yeah, he was all right. He was okay. This game, I didn't feel like he got too much joy, but he was all right. Marquinhos, nah, he was kind of poor to average kind of thing in both games, to be honest with you. Obviously got taken off in this for Beraldo, which was quite interesting that he took off your captain. But I feel like it was deserved because I don't think he was... I felt like he almost had like a mistake in him, or he had like another yellow card, which would have just put PSG under mad pressure. Pacho, I thought Pacho was good. I understand now why Liverpool... Well, why certain fans wanted him, because he looks like a decent, very, very decent centre-back. I definitely... Now seeing him over these two games, and I know it's a very small sample size. I mean, I've watched a bit of PSG, but yeah, over these two games, he really has shown he's a pretty decent player. Come on, midfield. I don't need to talk about Jon Neves and Vitinha. Those are like some of my... They're becoming they're slowly becoming some of my favorite players to watch in football right now. Fabian Ruiz, I was a bit disappointed with. I will say that much, but he was doing all the off the ball kind of work, to be fair. So he was doing the ugly stuff, I would say, more so. A lot of running, a lot of hard yards. He was probably doing what like a Zabozalai has been doing all season, but maybe just not getting too much of the joy. So yeah, he was kind of over there, with it. Kvaratskhelia, quieter this evening. Very good in the first leg. Dembele, again, first half, really, really good, I felt. Barcola, he was been missing these last two games, man. I can't lie. Can't lie. And I like Barcola. I think he's a good player, man. But last two games, he ain't really been on it. I'll be super, super real. But yeah, man, listen. Liverpool out of the Champions League, so now all full focus will obviously go on to the Carabao Cup final that is coming up this weekend against Newcastle. Listen, there's two trophies on the line now, boys, so you better go out and win that one, because if you don't win that one and you end up with... It sounds weird because you end up with one, but that one being the Premier League, then yeah, things just... Yeah, it goes... I guess because things change throughout a season, innit? So almost you still have the same level of joy because you won the Premier League, of course, and there's still going to be a massive parade and all these kind of things. But yeah, then you start looking at thinking, fucking hell, man, we fucked up in a lot of competitions this season. In decisive moments, we fucked up, kind of thing. And again, that would just be a lesson learned. But listen, we'll look towards that, over the coming days, weeks, and months, man. But guys, let me know in the comment section who was your... who do you think the best player was over the two legs? Let's just say it like that. Forget man of the match. Who's the best player over these two legs? What do you think we could have done more? What do you think we should have done better in these two games? Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section, people, and I'll catch you guys soon. Peace.